Oh, that tastes good. Hey, 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 hey. Good morning. It's conductor Chris Johnson here. Whoo, whoo. I know I can. I know I can. What's happening, guys? I'm glad that I wrote in the comments because what happened is Marty called to tell me something, and Red was still going. And when I clicked on Red, it still said he was going live. He did tell me he'd be done by 11:30. Redford, thank you very much. Excellent recap. As always, Red, big hands off to you. We know who number one is now, right, Red? Red and I, we have a little fun every time we do a corporate webinar or if Ash is on, and we have a little thing that we do between the two of us, and it's actually a lot of fun. You might see us say number one or number two. That's a little secret. I'll fill you in on later. What's going on today? All kind of things are going on today, guys. I do want to remind you about Bless. Tomorrow will be at 6 p.m. and Friday, 6 p.m. And this is my brother Vittel, and he's going to have a couple of guests on there, the farmers, if you remember them, and another lady on there, Ann. So it should be really good. How am I going to do it? I don't know. I think I'm going to let everyone come in. They're going to have a lot to say because this book is filled, but it's about a project that he wants to do in Jamaica that we talked about a long time ago. And he said, I can do this. And it is about shelters for abused women and children in Jamaica. Really cool. So be there tomorrow at 6 o'clock on Friday. Really, really awesome stuff. I'm doing something a little different today. All this week I've been talking about, hi everyone. I've been talking about marketing, my way I market. I'm going to change this a little bit today. Ash jumped on 360 yesterday and once again blew me away. You got to read between the lines, okay, and listen to what he was saying. If you listen to Red was touching base on it a little bit this morning. And Marty DeGarmo will be following me at 12 o'clock or 12:05 whenever he comes on. But because I just talked to him. We always try to stay on the same page. And I always tell Red, well, if you're going to do your recap, Red, just keep going and I'll go on right after you. I don't need a lot of time. And today's one of those things where I want a lot of time. I need a lot of time, but I think it's an important message. What was my topic everyone's saying today? Excuse me. Hold on. Let me get some juice. Wait, before I get to the topic, let me see. I want to wish people happy birthday first. All right. Some old people in here. Alan Goldberg, happy birthday to you. MD Sam Sudden, happy birthday to you. Jana, and I always say her name wrong, Musa, I think, happy birthday to you. If you know who Jana is, she's doing her story every day or every other day on Facebook about her journey, I believe, from her stroke. Very interesting. If you want to ever check that out, it's pretty cool. Shaheen Hassan, happy birthday to you. Deborah Morgan Goebel with the animals and the boats and the funny husband, happy birthday to you. El Arisi, happy birthday to you. And my personal family member, John O'Connell, this is my cousin's son, phenomenal dude. His wife, they just announced they're pregnant. So really, their first child, really good. So John O'Connell, happy birthday to you. And Kathy Plum, a very lovely lady I grew up with. Happy birthday to you. All right, let's get back to business. All right, so Ash, come on. He said a whole bunch of things. I'm not the recap guy. Go see Red. But some of the things he did say were important. Some of the things he said might have confused a little bit. And listen to Red's recap. And also, big thank you. And I'm all over the map today. Why? 2 hours sleep. That's all I get. I'm averaging. I don't know why. Haven't figured out yet, but I'll get there. Daryl Cook, I want to say thank you very much. It was funny because Red called me or texted me right after 360 and said, you're going to do a recap tomorrow. So we pole position ourselves. Yeah, hopefully Daryl Cook took some notes. And Daryl had already had this done. I missed Daryl, Chris, I sent the notes to Red, Marty, you, and Peter. And I'm like, hey, Red, he did them. They're on their way. So Daryl Cook, once again, we don't know how you do it. Amazing. Thank you very much. what else do I want to say before I stop jumping all over the place? I was once again blown away for what he had to say. He came on there. He looked tired. He definitely needs a haircut, which, of course, I always tease him about. Told him we're going to get John White. I'm going to send John White down to Florida and give him a high and tight. And he started looking at a schedule. When is the last time I got my haircut? He's like me. Every 2 to 3 weeks, we get our haircut. You know, I did. See? I just like wearing the hat in the morning. He said some really cool things yesterday. And like I said, you really got to listen to what he's saying. But it made me think. So in this process where I just can't sleep anymore, I don't feel like I don't sleep anymore, but at nighttime I do. I start thinking of things. What do I start thinking about? This is the honest to God truth. I'm not thinking about doing. All my tools came today so I can start doing some more work on my house, which I'm going to do, which is cool. I don't think about stuff like that. You want to know what I do? Most important thing, what kind of value can I give on my my live in the morning? Because it's very, very important to me. It's important to Red. It's important to Marty, Sherry Dursaway, Pat Parent, Engineer Mike, all these people that get out there and do lives or talk to the people, okay? It's important to us. We want to come across with a message that's going to leave you, or at least make you think a little bit. So I'm sitting there laying in bed, and for some reason, pickles. I got a taste for pickles. I absolutely love dill pickles, and I get them from Sam's Club. Oh, I forgot to grab my jar. Really, really big jar of pickles. And what do I do after I eat all those pickles? I wash it out. I let it soak for a day in some soap and water, clean it all up. And I use those jars for collecting my coins. If you don't know, I've been collecting coins since I was a kid. Now, do I collect? I have collector coins, and I have coins. I found out that when I was working every day, I would go to the store and buy a soda, or back then when I smoked a pack of cigarettes, I'd always have change. So I did this my whole life. I'd save all that change. I'd throw it in a big bucket. And by the end of the year, I had $1,500 to $2,000 every year in that bucket worth of change that I just threw in there. So I have a lot of these pickle jars, okay? For my dimes, my nickels, my pennies, my quarters. All right, and then I got a few other jars for Spanish coins, foreign currency, all kind of things. And then my mind, because it wasn't sleeping, started thinking a little, pickle jars. What can I talk about my pickle jars, right? So I have a pickle jar that is, it's a reminder. And you want to know what's in that pickle jar? Absolutely nothing. Okay, let's use this Pepsi thing. Here's my pickle jar. There's no coins in it. There's nothing. But what is in this jar, it humbles me. It makes me look at my life and the struggles that I went through. That's why there's nothing in this pickle jar. The struggles I went through, where I was at one time, went through a divorce, hardest thing I've ever had to go through in my life. Horrible. That's in that jar, okay? Realizing that every hour I worked, every minute I worked, every second I worked was going somewhere else. It wasn't going to me. That definitely was in this pickle jar. All right. A day where I came out of work and it was snowing so bad and I couldn't get for some reason, I got my car about a half mile down the road before I got into the freeway to get out, realized I got a flat tire and was stuck in 3 feet of snow on a road. Finally, the police came up to me and said, you okay? I said, no, I don't know how I'm going to change this flat tire. And I went to the trunk because he got behind me with his lights and realized that my spare tire was flat also. He then kind of chuckled and looked at me. I said, oh boy. He says, well, you got 2 more spare tires? I go, what do you mean? He goes, your back tire was flat also. So if there was another one, I definitely threw that in this pickle jar. Okay. This is my humbling pickle jar. This is what I look at when I think about where I'm at today and how blessed I am and where I was back in the future. All the sad things that happened in my life were in this pickle jar. But looking at that empty pickle jar gives me a reminder where I never want to be again. Now, I can't control a flat tire. I can't control a snowstorm, all right, or what's in it. I've slipped and fell. broke my ankle, twisted my ankle. I bruised my ribs, all kind of things. You can't control that. Things just happen. But I put it in that pickle jar. Why? Because I don't ever want to have to experience that again. All right. I don't like pain like no one else does. I just witnessed on YouTube, I was telling Marty about this little girl who never could feel pain, and how, in which we think, oh my God, would that be great? Especially if you're up there in age and your back hurts. And this little girl did not feel pain. She actually went blind because she'd poke herself in the eye so much. Now, this is a baby, 4 or 5 year old baby. She'd fall all the time and no crying. She'd get shots, from the doctor, no crying. She had a rare disease where she didn't feel pain. I thought, what a blessing. It wasn't a blessing to her. All right, because she didn't feel pain. She didn't know when to stop. She actually poked her eye so much that she went blind in it. Look it up on the internet. That's a true story. But I guarantee you she put that in her empty pickle jars. Man, I don't want to go through this again. All right, and then I go to this side where I don't tell you my secret where I keep all my pickle jars. And I grab another pickle jar. All right. And on that pickle jar, it says Onpassive. And you look at that pickle jar and you think it's empty. All right. I'm looking at my humbling pickle jar. I'm looking at all the coins that I put in over the years in my pickle jars. And then I got another empty pickle jar, and it's called Onpassive. What is that? That's what I look at after the humbling one. All the dreams, everything I've always wanted to do is in Onpassive. Things that I thought I could never do are possible because of how much things cost, how to do things. I thought, technically, I'll never be able to get this done. But then I look at that bottle that says, that pickle jar that says Onpassive on it. And what it's telling me is, Chris, you can help as many people out as you want. You're going to have millions of people that are going to be giving to people that never gotten before. You're going to have million people who maybe never had a chance at anything in life now have that. And that's in that pickle jar I call Onpassive. All right. You see, every one of us got a pickle jar. Every one of us have lived our lives. And if you lived your life and you never had any kind of sorrow or money problems or broken hearts, my God, are you lucky? But there's a reason for all those. There's a reason to have that empty pickle jar of things that you don't want to go back to. It's to teach you. You remember I told you a long time ago, once you fly first class, you never want to go back to flying coach again. Why? Just a better life. It just felt so much good. Someone hand you a hot towel and you pay $500 or $600 more for this seat and you get some candy, a hot towel, and yes, sir, hello, sir. It felt really nice. I'm not going to lie. I still fly coach. I'll fly first class once in a while. All right. There's a couple sayings, and I'm really all over the map today. I just want you to understand things. There's a couple of sayings that people say is money can't buy happiness or money can't buy sickness, but I disagree with that. Let me tell you why. Money can buy happiness. And let me tell you why. You may be depressed or have one of these things going in your life where you got no one to talk to. Number one, we'll talk to you. But money does buy happiness. Let me tell you why. It can't make me happy. Oh, I got money. But the things that you can do with money will bring you happiness. All right. The expression on your child's face when you buy them a birthday gift that they weren't expecting. Money bought that. All right. Maybe that vacation that you've been wanting to go on your whole life to Hawaii or wherever to, and you saved all your money. That money is going to get you happiness. You work for it, you save it. It will buy you happiness. Now, they also say, money can't fix a disease, and I disagree with that. All right. Money helps in so many ways, but we only look at some of the negatives sometimes. Money is used for research to fight things like cancer that I lost my father to, and many others in my family. Parkinson's, which I lost my mom to. Money goes to these research centers and to these extremely smart people, and every day they're working like Onpassive, except they're working to help find a way to cure cancer, cure Parkinson's, and every other disease, Alzheimer's, everything else that's out there. So, yep, there's two ways I said it. Money can buy happiness, and money can help with health issues. Can money cure diseases? Yeah, in a way it can because of research. Is there a cure for cancer out there or the common cold? I believe so. But the problem is, you all know the problem is there's more money in it to keep it going than to actually stop it and help people save lives. You know, if I knew the cure of cancer today, I'd be jumping all over the internet screaming, this is what works, this is how it does it, it's so easy. The problem is other people won't like that. And when you got a good thing like in passive, you know, you're going to have people that want to come after you and say things, blah, blah, blah. But I'm not worried about that. You heard Ash Mufareh say yesterday, let's not worry about that. We already know what we have, okay? We already know that everyone's got a pickle jar, whether it be full of coins or empty with full of your memories that you never want to go back to. Think about that. And then you got another pickle jar called passive, and then you got one more pickle jar. What's that pickle jar? That's all that you want to give back to the world. You want to give back to people so maybe they don't have to go through what you or I went through as far as work, about the struggles, about working literally for day after day and realizing that every dime or every penny you make doesn't even go to you. It's got to go somewhere else, either to pay medical bills, divorce lawyers. I mean, I could go on and on about it, and I won't, because there was a lot of bad times in my life. A lot of you see me happy-go-lucky. Why? Because when I look at that empty pickle jar of all my woes and blah, all I want to do is look at it. I don't have to live it again. Probably shouldn't have lived it anyway. I probably should have been stronger and moved forward. All right. But I be honest, I had nothing else back then but my job and God, absolutely God. When I got into Onpassive, I realized many things. That pickle jar with all those woes, even though there's nothing in it, but I knew it was in it, is a lot lighter. Because those things are slowly, there must be a little crack in that pickle jar, because all those things I remembered, I don't want to remember, slowly are seeping out. Because on my passive pickle jar, jumped over and start filling that woes bottle. We don't want you to go through that again, Chris. All right. And that's what really Onpassive does for all of us. You got a pickle jar? I got many. Every one of our pickle jars means something else, but think about what I'm saying. Maybe you're a little lost what I'm trying to say. I hope not. All right. I'll go back to talking marketing strategies tomorrow. I just think it's really good to make sure you're always humble. All right. Never put yourself above anyone. Stay on that ground level. All right. I've learned something from each person I've met in my life, whether they're extremely smart or maybe they were a slow thinker like me. You can learn so many things from your pickle jar. All right. Change what you want to put in your pickle jar. You now have a company called Onpassive that's going to not necessarily make you forget about your woes, even though it's a good thing to do it, but it's also a great thing not to forget about them. My goal is I don't want anyone to have to go through what I did. We could talk about Academy for 3 seconds here. In school, they never taught me about divorce. They never taught me about the pain of divorce. They never taught me about kids in a divorce. They never taught me any of that stuff. It was like, boom, it hit me like a Mack truck. There's things I believe that could be taught through Academy, all right, or seen by Connect, that are things that I think we really need in life. Yeah. Math, English, science, blah, blah, blah. Let's teach the world important things, like what happens when you abuse a credit card. What happens when someone falls out of love? There's all kinds of things that will benefit us more than a math class. I hate to say it that way. I did not like math at all. I didn't like it at all. And the sad thing, when I was a kid, I wanted to be a pilot and realized if I want to be a pilot, I got to learn math. And you know what I did? Because I didn't want to learn math because I couldn't stand it. I didn't get it. I didn't want to be a pilot anymore. It took away my dream of being a pilot. Now, am I going to be a pilot someday? I am. I am going to learn how to fly a helicopter. That's in another pickle jar I got. I haven't talked about that in a long time. but I will. Onpassive is giving me a road to travel to take me everywhere I want to go. And along the way on that road, there's people that need help. All right. Reach out to them. The David Penny family made me 2 videos to share with all you guys and thanking you. I might share that on an Oh Bless or just one of my lives. Very, very, very nice. And I want them to personally thank y'all. Really cool. So go fill your pickle jar because you can now. Go fill it up with things you wanted to do, things you wanted to help, and spread that word because that's what Onpassive does. We change the way we think. We don't think about the money coming at us anymore. We think about what we can do with that money. Change one person's life a day. That's all it takes. As you change that individual's lives, yours going to change. You're going to find out that what is the saying? It's better to receive. It's better to give than to receive. There is so much truth in that. If you've never been a giver and you're in a passive founder, you're going to find out what that joy and feeling is because for me, it's not no more of giving the guy $5 or $10 on the corner. It's about changing their entire life. And boy, is that a great feeling. So we do have a show. I got 9 minutes. I'll not get them all. Saturday, Mufareh, 11:45. We'll be doing a light show, God willing, with the weather. Now, it rained all night in Michigan last night. All night. If it rains and stuff, that does change the show around. We've been lucky the last 2 times. And then after that, we'll be immediately following, oh my goodness, an ASH webinar, corporate webinar with Dr. Super, what I call her, Engineer Muhammad Kamal, probably the tech team, the media team, and everyone else. Don't miss it. Be there. Get on early. And do I know if Ash let us share it out on the YouTubes last time? I don't know any of that. I don't know nothing. All I know is where I got to be at 12 on Saturday. Okay? Be there. Don't miss it. Ash said something very, very important. Hold on. Me. Almost there. He said something very important yesterday. He said, I need you to pay attention really on Saturday. He gave us a lot of little in-between stuff yesterday. Go watch Onpassive 360 again. Listen to it again. Every time you watch it, you're going to find out that he's going to say something that you're going to catch again. That's just, he almost like he talks in code. Some of us are starting to understand it. Some of us will never understand it, but that's why we got Redfern and Marty DeGarmo to tell us, what did he say? But he said a lot of important things in there that you need to listen to. He said, come to Saturday's meeting, please. But I really need you to pay attention to what I got to say. It's going to be I think one of the most important meetings we've been to in a long time. I think he's going to drop some stuff on us. As you can see in the pop-up, he's explained a lot of things. Excuse me, what he's talking about. I don't think he's going to be talking about his pickle jar. All right. I think his pickle jars were spread out to the world. And I'll say that. A lot of people still call me crazy or us crazy. I like the word crazy now. I believe in my heart everything that Mufareh has done. It is for a reason, and it's not a selfish reason for him. It's not about him. I think he's proven to that. And there's a story. I don't know if I want to share it yet. All right, I'm going to give you one quick story, and then I got to get going because Marty's coming on. Back in 2021, my mom passed away on December 13th. We all knew that. Appreciate all the prayers and hugs. That day my mom passed away. It was the day Mufareh was coming to my house. He was going to sit down at this table, and we were going to do a live together. Fortunately, my mom, she decided to go home. Okay. But before that process, Ash had called Marty and said, what's up with Chris's mom? Pretty Henor, thank you for the super sticker. Now, this is Mufareh. These are one of the many stories that I have, and I'm going to share this one because I think it's important. This is what Ash Mufareh's concern was. Remember I was talking about money can't buy you happiness or health? He's on the phone with Marty saying, let me get another doctor over to check out Chris's mom. Let's get another evaluation. He was worried about my mom who he's never met, telling Marty, and Marty's trying to explain, no, Ash, she's been in hospice for a while. They no, Marty, let's get it to the different doctor over there. We can fix her. That's the attitude Ash Mufareh has. Now, I'm hearing this, listening to this, what Marty's telling me, and I'm like, man, who is this guy that all of a sudden, not all of a sudden, but is saying we can get help to her? And he didn't know the whole situation. It was kind of comical that way, but we can get Chris's mom some help. Let's get her better. And that's the way he always thinks. You may not always see that. I do, I did, I have, and I still do. That's the honest truth. When you have a man, Ash Mufareh, he knows me a little bit by what I say, how I do. He knows how I think. He knew nothing about my mom, but she was sick. But hey, this is a few weeks where let's get Chris's mom some help. And I told him, Marty, tell Ash I got my mom and myself have the best health insurance in the world. He said, no, let's get another doctor in there. And he was demanding it. Chris, no, Marty, tell Chris, let's get it. And Marty explained to him what was going on. And that's the kind of guy he is, man. That's the kind of guy your CEO is. Now, he said some things yesterday that put some tears in my eyes, broke my heart a little bit. But one thing I do know is Ash Mufareh is a very strong-willed man. And right now, like always, he's putting himself second and putting us all first. If you don't see that, it's hard for me to make you understand. That's the truth. He is putting us first. He always has. And you should be happy. All right, let me say hi to a couple people real quick because Marty's coming on. Steve Noel. I did the birthdays. Renata. How you doing, Renata? Nice to see you. Gina Leva, what's happening? I love you, my sister back. Bill Moldaz, Casey Zevenberg, Donna Hamlin. You know, guys, I really sometimes want to get an important message. Sometimes it doesn't come off. But think about the pickle jar. That's a little bit about me, but I think it might resonate to a lot of other people. Gift of Onpassive. Lister T, my beautiful sister. Imran Ahmad. Thank you. You don't have to be proud of me. Be proud of yourself for stepping into something this wonderful. You know, Abdullah, what's happening? Cynthia Deering. What's the name on that one? Virginia DeSano, how you doing? Absolutely. Donna Hamlin. I got a quick David Rosleski. What's happening? That's right. Nobody is raised so high as to look down on anyone. That's not what we're supposed to do. I'm on here to pick you up, make you happy. Anyone that wants to do this can do this. It's not always easy, but it puts a lot into my soul when I get to do stuff like this. Roy Davies, what's happening? Pamela West, Levy Mambolo, how you doing? Everybody say hi to Jean. Myra Aquino. Pickle is, what did she? Pickle is Vista, Chris. So Vista in Spanish is pickle. Is that what you're saying, Myra? Saeed, what's happening? Hey. Miriam Weiberg, how you doing? Don Parker, everything you have gone through has brought you here, brother, and you are important to this community just like you are. Thanks for being you, Pickles. I like that, Don Parker. Oh, God, everyone's start calling me Pickles now, right? I'm conductor. Don't forget that. Let me go to the bottom because I know Marty. I don't want Marty to be late. Gene said something pretty important here, I think. Can you imagine how strong Ash's heart must be to withstand the attacks of the world? God bless this man. Absolutely correct, Gene. What we go through is nothing compared to what he's got to do every single day. Lois White, I appreciate. David Penny appreciates that super sticker. You guys are going to be amazed when you see this video, and then you're going to be amazed the day where I get to present all this to them, which is going to be fun. All right, guys, I got to get going. Marty's coming on. He's 12 o'clock. I'm going to make him late. I love you. I'm praying for you. Check out Marty's coming on right now. And 6 o'clock, I'll tell you tomorrow, bless, and then Saturday. Let's get it on. I love every one of you. Bye. Go check your pickle jars out. Marty DeGarmo. It's all yours, buddy.